Hey guys, a few minutes ago I shared with you all about Google Search Console, and now I'm going to be sharing about Google Analytics. So, Google Search Console and Google Analytics work in concert with one another. So, if you have one set up, you definitely want to set up the other one. And I'll kind of go over just the main things you can use Google Analytics for. When you first sign in, you're on your home screen, which is this one, and it gives you just all your basic information that you really want to use. So anytime I go to Search Console, one of the first things I do, one, you can look at your active users. If you don't have a large website, this is almost always going to be zero, except for the few times a day when you have a visitor. I can take a look at any date range I want. 90 days is a pretty good way to look at your data. Um, because if you look at anything smaller than that, the law of large numbers causes major fluctuations, and you don't really know how well you're doing or how good you're doing. So look at the website 90 days out. It kind of gives you a good idea of how you're doing for the quarter, and you're not focused in on a single day or a single week. Um, so, oh look, someone showed up to the website. That's great. I can see the users and whether or not that's increased or decreased um, since the last period of time. And you can see the last period of time in this case. I'm looking at the 13th through the 19th of September versus the 14th through the 20th of June. So last period. My sessions have increased by 3.6%. Users have decreased by 2%. Bounce rate is up 38%. So that tells me that I probably have a problem on this website and I need to take a look at it. The bounce rate is when someone goes to your website and immediately leaves. If my bounce rate is up 38%, definitely something I need to take a look at because I want to find out why. Session duration up 14%. Why? That's an interesting thing that's a large jump to go up in the session duration. Um, and I'd want to find out exactly why that jumped like that. But let's go down the line. You can customize your report. I always use the standard because I feel like they set it up just fine. Real-time overview is an expanded view of who's on your website right now. I almost never use this because you really shouldn't care who's on your website right now. You should care about whether or not your site is in good overall health. Um, so let's go to audience, overview. This is a good place to start. I'm just going to double check on my time frame again. I like going out a few months. And I'll do one other thing. Not only will I go out a few months, but I'm going to compare this to the same time the previous year, not the previous period. You don't really want to look at the previous period. You want to look at the previous year. And the reason for that is because in this case, this is a tree cutting area or a tree cutting website. So if I was in late spring and looking at the last quarter and comparing that to the previous period, I'd be comparing that to the fourth quarter the previous year, which includes October, November, December. So now I'm comparing October, November, December, dead of winter, to January, February, and March, um, you know, late winter, early spring, and that's going to be totally different. Everyone wants to work on their yards in the spring. Nobody wants to work on their yards in the dead of winter. And so I'm going to have some really wacky metrics that are not going to be helpful to me. So instead, I'm going to look at 3 months and then look at the same 3 months last year because at least I know that it should be similar in the number of users, right? I mean, I hope that all makes sense. Things are seasonal, and you want to look at everything in the correct season. Okay, So, and you can see it's doing pretty darn good. From last year, we grew the website about 76%. So this is really good. 96% increase in sessions. Okay. Page views, that doesn't matter so much. Average session duration went down. Something I want to look at. It's not necessarily a bad thing, even though it's red. One reason why that happens is because Google understands your website better and will begin um, it'll begin sending people to the right page the first time instead of sending them to the home page and letting people find their way to the content. So may or may not be a good thing. I don't know. I'll have to look deeper into that. But the audience overview, great place to start in understanding how your website is doing. What I can then do, audience, I don't really. So I can start looking at the demographics of my audience, which is interesting to watch, especially if you have a website that is dependent on trends. I can know the age and the gender of my average viewer. I can understand the geography, where they're searching from, the technology. This is a great thing. Which browser and OS they're using. Mobile. Let's look at the mobile overview. So what this really is going to do is it's going to confirm a lot of things everyone already knows. Um, mobile phone. We have a lot more people. 1,136 people tuned in on their mobile in the last few months compared to 1,000 on desktop compared to 280 on tablet. So I know that if I do nothing else, I better have a good mobile website because that's where the majority of my people are coming from, of my customers. So that's a good thing to know. Acquisition, all of these things are helpful. This kind of tells me where people are coming from. Are they coming from Google Ads? Am I running Google Ads? Where's all my traffic coming from? So let's look at channels under all traffic. This is going to show me exactly where my people are coming from. So I know that in the last 3 months, 1,017 came from organic search. 696 came from my display ads because I am running ads on this website. 503 came from direct. Now, what direct means is that someone actually clicked a link. So that means it could be a link that I have on another website. It could be that I sent an email that gave people a link that they clicked over from, that sort of thing. More paid search, social media. 36 people came over from social media, and referral. I'm actually going to unpack referral. That'll let me know a little bit more. Okay, so referrals from other random search engines, yellowpages.com, Google, more search engines. So this will help me understand, like, if someone is linking to me, I can look there too. So great tool. So how do you put this into practice in real life? Well, if you see that you're getting a lot of referrals from one website, you'll probably want to know what those websites are and why people are coming to you from them. It can help you find other websites that you can use as referrals. Know who's coming to you from mobile, who's coming to you from desktop. That helps you to understand your audience better. Which traffic sources all your people are coming from. This is just a really great tool to help you make informed decisions about who's coming to your website. So really good tool to have running all the time. And I mean, the possibilities for this are endless. I can't even go into this. I can actually look at the last 10 years of data on this website and know exactly when I should be focusing on certain things uh, during different times of the year. So really great information in this. Spend some time just looking at it and just pondering all the different ways you can use this. It's a really great tool, and you definitely don't want to delay in setting this up if you don't have it set up already.